Hey, what's up, guys? Here in the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson, here on Season 9, Episode number 18 here on the Fire Sports Pod, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the DreamYard go. So let's get right into the show we have for you guys today. Today's going to be about the NFL Draft. It is coming up very soon in about 7 hours or so. We'll be kicking off the NFL Draft and see where the top prospects are coming in from college, going into the NFL, and where they might end up. Um, so, right off the bat, we're just going to go over the first round. Obviously, the top 32 teams in the first round, seeing where they're at and who they're going to get. And then that will be pretty much it for our podcast. We also have 5 bold predictions. According to CBS, and I'll let you guys know if I see these actually happening or not. And then I'll also give you some insight on what the Cowboys should be doing, because I'm a Cowboys fan, and maybe we'll see if we make some bold moves in the draft. Again, I don't see that happening because it's just the way Jerry Jones is, but again, things have gone crazier before. So let's get right into it, and here we go. All right, so we're going to share our screen. We're going to go over a mock draft here. This year I wasn't able to create my own mock draft, which is fine because I'm actually not really sad about not making the mock draft this time. I kind of like seeing where the top guys who make their mock drafts and see if I like them or not. So first up, obviously, I think is a no-brainer. Las Vegas. Obviously, they had a really tough. They've had a lot of tough years or so. The in and out of Carr and just quarterbacks, Geno Smith, just back and forth, Jimmy Garoppolo, just to name a few. So I think this is a pretty easy pick here. Fernando Mendoza, QB from Indiana, Heisman winner. He's going to be going to the Las Vegas Raiders, number 1. These are Miller's final rankings. I like this move for the Raiders in just the sense of having a young guy who came off an incredible season with Indiana. He won the Heisman. On top of that, you got Kirk Cousins coming over there as a veteran. He can learn from him. Are they going to start Kirk Cousins? Are they going to start Mendoza? I don't know. We'll see what happens in training camp and as the offseason keeps going on, and see how the reps look for them both. I would certainly be surprised if Mendoza does start off the bat. I would think the veteran Kirk Cousins will come in and kind of take the reins for a couple games or so. And then if they're not really doing well, they'll put in Mendoza just so he can learn over a veteran. But again, the Raiders will do what they want to do. Now, the New York Jets, for Miller's prediction, David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech. The buzz entering this week was the Jets preferred Bailey here, despite some late speculation that momentum might have swung to Arvell Rice, who's the guy who's supposedly going to get picked by Arizona, 3rd overall from Ohio State. I'm sticking with the consistent info that Bailey is the pick. It's essentially a choice between 2 strategies: build for the future with Reese, higher ceiling, or get the more pro-ready sure thing in Bailey. The Jets can't afford to go either route, but all signs right now point to Bailey as the pick based on conversations with more than half a dozen NFL resources. Now, Fowler's intel, the Jets have settled on their pick of late last week and have shifted to the number 16 selection and how the board might fall there. The team has not received any inquiries for the number 2 pick of midday Wednesday by potentially sleeper QB for the Jets in the middle rounds is Carson Beck. So there was a lot to unfold there. So I'm going to go on a limb here. I actually think the Jets make a different approach. Actually, no, I actually don't think so, actually. I really think that the Jets really need – their defense is good, but their defense needs a pro-ready guy. And I agree with Miller here. I like David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech. He did really good this year. And Texas Tech was a playoff team as well. So you get the more experienced guy. Obviously, Reese coming from Ohio State. He's experienced as well, but he's a little bit more raw. He's got a little bit more time to develop. So I think the right pick here is Bailey. But I like the Jets trying to get a quarterback, Carson Beck, coming in there in Miami in the middle rounds. He's not a bad quarterback. He definitely has experience. Man is old as shit. He's been in college for like 7 years, it seems like. So I think that's a good pick for the Jets. Moving now to the Arizona Cardinals, where this, to me, I might think that they might make a move here. Now, Arizona, again, has been ups and downs. They moved off Kyler Murray. Now, this is one of the toughest teams to predict, given the buzz around it's wanting to move out of this spot. I called around multiple times to see if this might be a place where the Chiefs move up from number 9 for a pass rusher, but was told it's unlikely the Cardinals will want to move back that far. I wouldn't rule out a surprise here, but for me, obviously, he's going to say Jeremiah Love. I would not be surprised if Arizona goes with Jeremiah Love. I know they've had some success in the past with running backs. James Conner was a monster, so there definitely is a potential. But I think they're gonna have to go defense, man. Arizona's defense has been absolutely dog shit. I think Ed from Ohio State brings in the championship pedigree from Ohio State as well as just a guy that could just develop over the years. And I just think this is a good thing here. Now, if the Jets pick Reese, I think the Arizona then either goes with Bailey or Jeremiah Love. And at that point, I think they might go with Jeremiah Love. So we'll see what here, but don't be surprised if there's a move here that Arizona makes either to move down and someone makes a move up, but I don't see that happening, or they either go with Reese or make a splash and pick Jeremiah Love, which is going to suck for the number 4 team, which is Tennessee, which they are desperately needed a running back like Jeremiah Love. I know they have Tony Pollard, but if you want to pair Tony Pollard with Jeremiah Love, that would be a great 1-2 punch for Cam Ward. And again, the second-year quarterback in Cam Ward definitely needs some help. And Jeremiah Love is probably one of the best, if not the best, talents in this draft, other than probably Mendoza at 1. So I definitely think that this is Tennessee is hoping to the gods that Arizona takes Reese and they're able, or Bailey, and they're able to take Love, because this will be a big impact for Tennessee, not just as a team wise, but just as a cultural building block for their team as they're building a young up and coming team. And I like the way Cam Ward played last year for his first year. Obviously, he had some ups and downs, but there was some good to look at it. Now, Tennessee has considered linebacker Sonny Styles from Ohio State at this spot. The Titans like his game. One of the top edge rushers will also be an option, and possibly offensive tackles such as Spencer Fano from Utah. Rival teams say Love makes a lot of sense for Tennessee to help Ward, and I would have to agree. You get the screen pass, you get the blocking. He's a big back. He's fast too. Can't run between the tackles. I definitely like Jeremiah Love here at Tennessee for number 4. Now, the New York Giants. You guys know how I like the New York Giants. I hate them. But they really need help. And help is potentially at wide receiver. And they're going to – Miller says their pick prediction is Jordan Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State. This guy is a baller. Went back and forth on this pick multiple times. I heard from reliable sources that the Giants don't expect Love to be on the board, but would make him the pick if he's available. I'm sorry. The Giants, why? What is the point of getting Jeremiah Love when you bought in the running back last year? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on him. But I just don't understand. Why would you go with another running back? Maybe for the pairing, not to see. Okay, you know what? This is going to kill me. I have to look up Giants running back. This is embarrassing. Why I cannot remember him. Cameron Scatterbo. So you have Scatterbo in the backfield. I mean, a 1-2 punch of Scatterbo and Jeremiah Love would be crazy. But I just think you're going to waste the pick on a running back. Now, again, he is probably the best talent in the draft, but you can get a wide receiver like Tyson. You could get Caleb Downs, safety. Their defense needs some help in the secondary. But I think Tyson as a number one wide receiver. Now there are talks that OBJ might be coming in. He was at a workout earlier this week, if not last week. But again, you just need to get a number one guy so that you can get the ball thrown to and he can actually be open. But I don't know. I just think Jackson Dart definitely needs a guy who's going to be able to get open one-on-one. And I think Tyson's the guy. But, I mean, the Giants have done some stupid shit in the past. So if they mess it up again, then they mess it up again. But I think Tyson's the right way to go. If they're going to go with somebody, I would say definitely go defense with Caleb Downs from Ohio State. I know him personally from being an Ohio State fan. Like, I don't know him personally, but watching him, Caleb Downs is a dog. And to help out that defense in the secondary, they got torched. So I definitely, their front line is good. Their linebacker core is not bad. They definitely need that secondary, and a safety help would be fantastic. But I think Tyson is the way to go for the Giants. Cleveland Browns. Francis I can't even pronounce that name. Oh my God. These names are just getting like harder and harder as the years go on. But there's an offensive tackle from Miami. Now the Browns, they desperately need offensive tackle. They cannot keep anybody off the quarterback. It was really, really bad last year for Shedeur Sanders. And who knows if Shedeur or Deshaun Watson's going to be there. Now, here's something here. There has been stem picking up this week that Cleveland could trade out of this spot and target Fanu, but is no deal emerges that the Browns like sticking that selecting the conscious best offensive tackle was a great way to boost a unit that needs immediate attention. One thing is certain, Cleveland plans to have Thursday night with a new tackle and new wide receiver. The order in which it does that is the biggest question mark. Now, Fowler's intel. Fano is also an offensive tackle who has been matched to the Browns in league circle in the process. That makes a lot of sense for the Browns, a veteran NFL personnel evaluator told me. Now, the Browns have a short list of players, and not all of them fill their two major needs, offensive tackle, receiver. As one team source caution, Cleveland was unpredictable last year with the Travis Hunter trade and could be again. So peg is solely as going to receiver and tackle. So now the Browns have been unpredictable in the last couple drafts, but I think their best bet has got to be offensive tackle. Whoever it is, that quarterback, Shedeur or Deshaun Watson, they got to keep him. They got to keep them both protected. Both Deshaun, injury history, Shedeur, he's just not going to last long if he just keeps getting hit. Now, Washington Commanders at number 7. Sony Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. Ohio State is absolutely going berserk in this draft. I think this is a good pick for Washington. Their defense really needed help last year. I think their offense without J.D. McDaniels is just like they were just inconsistent. But I definitely think Styles is the right way to go for the Commanders. They need a boost on that linebacking core, especially to stop the run or just to communicate on defense, man. Not good communication. Obviously, you got some veterans and whatever on that defense, but you definitely need a young guy in there to just really boost the morale and just get things going. Now, another one could be that Washington takes another wide receiver, Cardinal Tate, who's going number 8 to New Orleans from from Ohio State. Again, Cardinal Tate was absolutely fantastic. He would join a former Buckeye and Chris Olave there, which Chris Olave needs a little help there with Shao. So at quarterback, I think this is going to be a really good 1-2 punch for Shao, having Cardinal Tate and Chris Olave, 2 wide receivers from Ohio State. Both are big-time talents, number 1 guys. I like this pick a lot for the Saints. I like it big time, actually. So I definitely think that this is a very good pick for the Saints. Moving on, Kansas City at number 9, Ruben Bain Jr., edge from Miami. Their defense needs a little bit of a booster. They got Kenneth Walker in free agency to help out Patrick Mahomes at that running back position. You still got your wide receivers and whatever. They're definitely going to have to do some more on getting some more guys on offensively, because I don't know if they can run with what they have, but they definitely have boosted it with the Kenneth Walker move. But I think this is a good move from edge rusher from Miami. Big dude, guy can get to the quarterback at will. So I like this move. Now, number 10, Giants have a top 10 pick as well, so they got 2. This is via Cincinnati. Miller's pick prediction is Caleb Downs. So in this position, the Giants can go after Tyson and then still get Caleb Downs at number 10 if he's still there. And I believe he's still going to be there. But again, I mean, Ohio State. That's 3. That's 3, 4. So you got 4 out of the top 10 picks coming from Ohio State, which is crazy. And Caleb Downs is a monster. That's safety. He is a big hitter, a guy who can just go up and get the ball on really any wide receiver. He's a very good lockdown safety. I like him a lot over the top. Definitely for the Giants, if they're able to bring in a wide receiver like Tyson from Arizona State and then bring in Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State, I think this is a great pick for the Giants. Now, if they go with Jeremiah Love, still I think it's a great pick. I still think they go with Caleb Downs. I don't think Tyson's there if they don't pick him. So I think that's the right pick. Miami at number 11, you got Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah. Probably one of the best offensive tackles in the draft. And I think this is a good pick for Miami. Obviously, no more Tua, but they gotta shore up and be able to make sure they can protect the quarterback, because if not, it's going to be a similar situation. But I think Miami's just got to bolster up that offensive line. A couple years ago, they had one of the best running games in the 1-2 punch running games in the league with HN. And Mostert. So they definitely could get back to that. They just got to get a sure up offensive line. Now, my Cowboys, Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU. Again, we do need cornerback help. Diggs has been I mean, our defense secondary was just absolutely awful last year. And the Cowboys could be aggressive in trading up. The rumor hasn't gone away, and it sounded as if they were willing to package both first-round picks in order to make a super bold move up the board for one of the top defenders. As I've heard, the Cowboys don't consider Brian one of them based on the team's move to a 3-4 scheme that leaves them in play for a corner. In talking to teams and agents during the pre-draft process, Delane's range to come off the board is anywhere between number 7 and this pick. Dallas is monitoring a trade market that's been quiet so far. The Cowboys are comfortable staying up at number 12 and 20 if need be, because they feel they can get impact players at both picks per team source. Whether they can get a true blue chip defensive player at 12 is the question, as this draft is short on them. If the Cowboys do move up, some league scouts believe Styles would be a possible target at wide receiver. Dallas has a high grade on Tyson. Okay. So a lot to unpack there. Dallas, there is no reason to get a wide receiver. I know Pickett hasn't signed the franchise tag. You still got CeeDee. You got your guys. There's no reason to get another wide receiver. Styles, different story. I would not be surprised. I like that move. If we do end up getting, where's Styles? It was a linebacker. Forgot. Where is he? Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. Okay, I'm not pissed. If we are able to get a linebacker there and then Delaney drops to be able to get 20 at LSU cornerback, that would be not bad, but we got to go cornerback, man. We really have a problem at cornerback. We need help. We really need help. Bland needs help. We really need that cornerback help. So I think no Tyson. We should just stick with Delaney from LSU. I like that pick a lot. Los Angeles, they're going to go with a wide receiver, and I think the reason why is based on Puka Nakua's situation. I think that's probably the best bet to make sure that you get somebody in a top 15 pick in this draft, because you don't know the particulars on what's happening with Puka. Now, could the Rams consider drafting quarterback Ty Simpson, Alabama, here, even after trading down? So Los Angeles sees this as a Super Bowl year and plans to use this draft accordingly. They want impact guys more like what they did in 2024. So don't think Ty Simpson's going to be coming here because they're trying to win now. And Los Angeles got this via Atlanta. So I like this Makai Lemon, wide receiver from USC. 14, Baltimore. You got guard from Penn State. I definitely think they need this. They need to keep Lamar Jackson healthy and ready to go because lately he's just been injured every year. Obviously, again, he's a running quarterback. Things happen, but they're going to have to be able to protect him in the pocket. So I think this is a good pick. Tampa, Hakeem Massayer, edge from Miami. Tampa needs just some defense. Bucks took a bouquet last year. So I think this kind of makes sense. Edge rusher from Miami, another big-time talent. They need to bolster up that defense. So I don't really have a problem with this pick. The Jets via Indianapolis, I should say. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver from Indiana. The Jets really need some wide receivers because Garrett Wilson is just by himself. They definitely need it. And I like this. He paired up with Mendoza. He did really good this year, so I'm not mad at this one either. Detroit Lions, Caden Proctor, offensive tackle from Alabama. This is desperate. They need this desperate. Desperate. They desperate need Caden Proctor from offensive tackle from Alabama. Their offensive line was atrocious last year. I mean, it was really bad. The offense just could not get anything really going. Jared Goff just every time I watched the game, he was like getting sacked. Now, Lions to Proctor as a seamless replacement for Taylor Decker. Said one rival scout from NFC North that whole talk about moving Penei Sewell to left tackle was Dan Campbell trying to convince people they don't want Proctor. 6'7", 352-pound, 3-year starter, has one of the best combine pro day combinations of any player in the class to boost his stock. Another name connected here is cornerback Jermod McCoy, Tennessee. So watch him as a potential draft night surprise. Okay, so here's the thing. They either go offensive line or they go cornerback because their cornerbacks are also absolutely garbage because they just keep getting injured. Last year, another injury bug year for the Lions, which really hurt them big time offensively and defensively. So I think they should go offensive line to protect Jared Goff and help out that running game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go cornerback just to protect that defense because they really need to be able to stop people. Minnesota, Dylan Thyman, safety from Oregon. I like this. Minnesota's a moving up team. They definitely need, with Kyle Murray now at the helm, they definitely need some defense to help out and to stop some people. So I definitely like this pick. Carolina, they surprised a lot of people making it to the playoff last year and able to do some things. They're going to go with tight end from Oregon, Kayon Sadiq. I like this move. They need to really get a bona fide tight end for Bryce Young. I like the way they ended the year. They played really well against the Rams in that playoff game. They almost won, and they finished out the year really well. So I like Carolina and what they've been doing over there. So don't be surprised if they go all in to try to get this tight end. Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas Cowboys, they're looking at Kedrick Folk, edge from Auburn. I first run through this mock draft at Dallas taking a safety, but after additional calls and texts, it sounds like the Cowboys view edge rusher as a bigger area of need. That's desperate. Yes, we do, because we can't fucking get a pass rush on anybody. Name was brought up a potential 3-4 defensive end in Christian Parker's defense. They need big boys and can control gaps, said offensive coach who has schemed against Parker before. 6'6", 276. Folk has size and power just to do that. Now, Stephen A., Cowboys 2026 letdown could begin on draft night. Stephen A. Smith weighs in on the position the Cowboys find themselves in ahead of the round of the NFL draft. I'm going to put this in a video right before we end just to see what he says, and I'll kind of comment right before the end of our podcast here. Pittsburgh, Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle from Georgia. They desperately need that. Who knows who the quarterback's going to be? So they need some offensive tackle because last year, Los Angeles Chargers, Jamad McCoy, cornerback from Tennessee. Chargers need some help on defense and offense. They need help everywhere. Eagles, Blake Miller, offensive tackle, Clemson. This to help out with Jalen Hurts and protecting both right tackle Lane Johnson and left guard Landon Dickerson considered retirement last offseason with no clear-cut replacements on the roster. This is a desperate need. They're going to have to help to be able to shore up and protect Saquon as well as Jalen Hurts. Cleveland Browns via Jacksonville pick. Denzel Boston, wide receiver from Washington, another wide receiver to help out with either Shador or Deshaun Watson, whoever is the quarterback. Chicago Bears, you got Caleb Loom, offensive tackle from Utah, to help out with Caleb Williams. They just had a lot of pressure on him this year, especially the playoff game against the Packers. A lot of pressure on him. So definitely to help out with the offensive tackle, I like this pick. Buffalo, KC Concepcion, a wide receiver, Texas A&M. With DJ Moore now in the fold and no second-round pick, it might seem like overkill for the Bills to add another wide receiver at this point. That was my original thought, but the feedback I received, I think to have a 1-2 punch, I mean, you can't go wrong. You got Josh Allen out there. You need definitely a 1-2 punch, and I like this pick to be able to have. So both defenses going to have to either take the rookie, or you take DJ. Obviously, they're going to take away DJ, and KC is going to have to come in and be able to catch the ball. San Francisco, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo. San Francisco, again, they've had a lot of injuries last year on their defense. I think helping out. And also they extended Trent Williams through 2027. I think helping out the safety positions, just being able to cover guys, I think is going to help San Francisco out a little bit. So I like this pick. I don't have a problem with the last 15 picks or so. I like these picks for everybody. But now, projected trade, Cardinals make a deal with the Texans to move back into round 1. So that would mean the Texans would get out of round 1 and would move in, and Arizona would get the 28th pick. And Arizona will go with Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama. They pulled off a blockbuster trade for the number 3 pick in 2023. Simpson suitors are limited as base, so they might think that this might be a possibility. So again, I don't know. But I do like this pick. Ty Simpson going to Arizona. This might be a good pick for Arizona, trying to get some young quarterback in there. Kansas City via the Rams. Chris Johnson, quarterback from San Diego State, really bolstering up their defense. Must needed. Kansas City really was a little lackluster on defense last year. Miami via Denver. Colton Hood, cornerback from Tennessee. Miami's defense was really bad last year, really bad. So I think this really helps. Obviously in the later rounds, but still anybody can really help that defense. New England, Max, they were in the Super Bowl, so obviously they're 31, and then the Super Bowl champs at 32. Offensive tackle from Arizona State to keep Drake May alive and well. I think this is a good pick. Don't really know too much about Max, but just reading about here down low, he seems like a big dude that can really help out the offensive line. Seattle Seahawks, they're going with edge from UCF, Malachi Lawrence. Again, not really know this guy too much, but again, Seattle just bolstering up their defense as Super Bowl champs. So that is pretty much the recap of round number 1. Comment section what you guys think of all these picks, and if you like Miller's picks, and if you liked my analysis on other picks that I think could be changing. Now some 5 bold predictions before we get off the show here today. So the first bold pick is the Chiefs crash the top 5 with a big trade. Chiefs are going into the draft with the top 10 pick. The last time it happened came in 2013, where they picked Eric Fisher. So for this year's draft, you might not see a jaw-dropping trade like that, but one brought Mahomes to Kansas City. But they think the Chiefs get a 3rd overall pick, and the Cardinals get the 9th overall pick, as well as the 29th overall pick in the 2027 second-round pick as well. Do I think this might happen? I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think the Chiefs are going to trade up, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to trade down. Rams make bold move into the top 10 for a receiver. I could see this happening based on the fact that they don't know what's happening with Puka Nacua and how that's going to unfold. So the Rams will get the 6th overall pick. Browns get the 13th overall pick, 2026 3rd-round pick, 93rd overall, 2027 2nd-round pick. This I could see happening. But again, the Browns desperately need some top guys. So the possibility of happening is very slim. But It's a bold prediction for a reason, and that's a possibility. Jets make 2 top 10 picks. Let's take a look at the Jets' first 4 picks. They got round 1, second overall, round 1, 16th, round 2, 33, and round 2, 44. The Jets get the 7th overall pick. Commanders get the 16th. I don't think this actually happens. I think the Commanders stay where they're at. Cowboys make 2 first-round trades. Cowboys get the 8th overall pick. Saints get the 12th overall pick and the 2026 third-round pick. Just based off of how Jerry Jones is, this is not fucking happening. You know why? Because he just never does this shit. He never trades up or does any of this shit in the draft. So the fact that this is a possibility is a bold prediction for a reason. It ain't going to fucking happen. I wish it could happen, but it's not going to happen. And then the second one, the Cowboys get a 2026 second-round pick, which is 33 overall, 2026 fourth-round pick, and 103rd overall in the 2027 third-round pick. Jets get the 20th overall pick. So the Cowboys trade with the Jets their second first-round pick, and the Cowboys are able to trade with the Saints to get the 8th overall pick to get a better player. So you get 4 picks higher than the 12th, and we don't pick again in the first round. We pick in the second round. I don't think this is going to happen. I think we're going to stick with our first round picks, to our 2 first-round picks. And then 5, last but not least, would be Jeremiah Love falls out of the top 10 unless someone trades up to get him. I don't think that's actually happening. Tennessee is definitely going to pick up Jeremiah Love. So really the only one that I see happening would be the Rams trading up to get a wide receiver based on the uncertainty with Puka Nacua. Now, I just want to look and see, for our last thing before we end the show, what Stephen A. has to say about the Cowboys. Hopefully this thing loads. But I don't know, man. Jerry Jones is just a very interesting character. Hold on. I got to put the sound on.
The 12th pick and the 20th pick in the NFL draft. People are saying you got an opportunity to move up for one of those cats out of Ohio State, especially Sonny Styles, okay, with what we heard that he did as a scouting combine. Now, you've got Rashawn Gary did now. You made some moves, Quentin Williams and others before the trading deadline expired. You're supposed to improve that defense, which was straight garbage. We know what you can do offensively. There's been no progress with George Pickens and his contract situation. Are you going to draft a wideout? You going to stick with your defense, which was porous, and you're going to go out there? You gotta prioritize defense, right? But what is Jerry Jones going to do? We don't know. And that's what makes it intriguing. Because could they be foolish enough to go out there and draft a wide receiver just so they don't have to pay a George Pickens, other than knowing that you already franchise tagged him, recognizing that level of friction could invade the locker room and derail it, because there's always a black cat running around that franchise. I keep telling y'all, there's always something. Just wait for it. Be patient. Don't get overblown when they have success early. Just wait for it. They will not let me down. They will mess up. Trust me. And it could start with draft night tomorrow night.
All right, so you guys heard it there. Now, do I agree with Stephen A. Smith? No. But at the same time, I have to agree with him, because the Cowboys are notorious to for some odd reason, always to screw things up, especially on draft night. So the last take I'm going to say is Dallas, in 7 hours or 6 hours or so, don't fuck it up. Please, don't screw it up, because I'm going to agree with Stephen A. I love him to death. I'm going to agree with him for the first time when it comes to the Cowboys. There is no way, if the Cowboys pick a wide receiver, that we are not going to have one of the worst seasons in NFL history this coming year. Because, like he said, that's going to divide the locker room. George Pickens is going to be pissed. And the same George Pickens we saw in Pittsburgh is the George Pickens going to show up again. Because he's going to be lackadaisical. He's not going to want to be there. He's going to know he's going to be replaced. He's already on the franchise tag. He already doesn't want to sign it. There's no more talks of extension after the franchise tag. So right now, we got him for one more year. There's no way in hell you bring in a wide receiver in just because you don't want to pay him. He deserves his money. He needs his money. And we better win now, because if not, we're losing him after the franchise tag. So, Cowboys, Jerry Jones, don't pick a wide receiver. Stick to the defense, because that was the worst defense in NFL history last year. I mean, we had some good games after the trade deadline, but it was atrocious. The last 3 games, we just shit the bed. It was atrocious. So please don't do it to me. Just give me a year where I can actually have fun watching my Cowboys and we're not absolutely ass and I'm not having a heart attack every game. So that's my prayer for tonight for Jerry Jones. And we will be keeping you guys updated. If not tonight, tomorrow on what the Cowboys did or did not do / what pretty much everybody did in the draft. But for just the Cowboys, we'll be going over that tomorrow, if not later tonight. And for just a recap of the first round and probably second round, we'll be doing that on Recap Tuesday, as well as the NBA playoffs. I know there was no NBA today, but guys, stay tuned. It's been a great playoffs for the NBA, NHL. But that's pretty much it for the podcast here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dreamer go. This was Season 9, Episode 18. We'll see you guys all on Season 9, Episode 19 for Recap Tuesday on next week. So, guys, have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy it. And we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Peace out.